All right, Ravens flock. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are enjoying your day. Welcome to Victory Tuesday. The Ravens were able to get the 27-13 victory against the New Orleans Saints. They advanced to 6-3, their first place in the AFC North, and they're heading into their bye week. Thank God. That game yesterday was very pleasant. It was incredibly pleasant. We haven't had a game like that since week 1 against the Jets. Just a game where you're not really stressing over it. Your team's winning, you're dominating, you're doing what you need to do. There's mistakes here and there, but they're not mistakes that are big enough to cost you. It's not like the game's coming down to the wire and you're really fearful as to whether or not the Ravens are going to hold on to the lead. It's just one of those wins that are just calm, cool, and collected. The Ravens have won 3 straight games. They look like they're trending in the right direction. And coming off the bye, they will be facing off against one opponent that's over 500. That is the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I have no clue whether or not some of the later opponents down the road will be under 500 by the time we face them. But right now, they are under 500. Things can change. It's still a long season. But Baltimore is in a really good position. And I like their chances to win this division. Now, past that, we will have to see. But right now, Baltimore is heading in the right direction. They're slowly becoming that team that you can look at and say they should be a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And in some cases, if they continue to improve the way they're improving and get healthier, coming off the bye, and they produce and they're consistently finishing games, you can sit back and say they should be the Super Bowl favorite. It could happen. Not saying it will, but, Baltimore's making the strides in the right direction, especially defensively. So let's get into this game. Let's not waste that much time. I don't think there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this game because it wasn't a game that came down to the wire. It was very calm, cool, and collected. The defense showed up once again. They dominated this Saints offense and pretty much just made them look pedestrian. Now, of course, the Saints were dealing with issues. They were dealing with injury issues, both injury issues coming into the game and then injury issues during the game because they lost a couple players during the game, and those players were defensive players, but they did lose a couple players. Offensively, obviously, they lost they didn't have Jarvis Landry here, and of course they lost Michael Thomas for the rest of the season, so neither one of those guys were out there. That made it a bit difficult for them, but they are really a team that dominates with their run game. The passing game isn't the strongest suit for the Saints. It's their running game that really brings that threat, and it's the engine that gets their offense going. Against the Ravens, they could not run the football, bro. They could not run the football. Kamara had 9 carries for 30 yards, and that was pretty much it. Everyone else didn't even crack 10. Any of the other guys who took off rushing did not crack 10. Their leading rusher had 30 rushing yards. The Ravens defense showed up, showed out, and made stops when they needed to. They put Andy Dalton through the torture chamber. Our defense had 4 sacks in this game. 1 by Marlon Humphrey, a half sack by Calais Campbell, and 2.5 sacks by Justin Houston. Wow, I almost choked up because Justin Houston's got me over here losing my mind with his production. This dude, 2.5 sacks. 2.5 sacks. This guy is playing out of his mind. Justin Houston is by far the best pass rusher on the team. This guy is playing at an incredibly high level. It's amazing to see what he's doing right now. And it's even crazier to think that this guy was ready to hang it up. He was thinking about retirement, but he chose to come back and play this season. And he's playing out of his mind. Not only did he get 2.5 sacks, he also got a pick on Andy Dalton. I mean, good Lord, this dude was out there torturing Andy Dalton. This man was looking like LT out there. It was crazy. Defense was making stops. Roquan Smith clearly showcased his presence in this game. Roquan Smith was right there. I mean, the guy was just all over the field, both in pass and run coverage. I believe he led the defense in tackles. I mean, the guy was just there. The guy was just straight up there. Roquan Smith was just there. I think he was leading it or one of the leading guys in tackles. But Roquan Smith, he made his presence known. Marlon Humphrey still playing like an all-pro. Kyle Hamilton, we don't talk about this, But Kyle Hamilton is having a really, really good rookie season. He made the mistakes early on in week 2. We get it. Early on in the season, he was making mistakes. But past that, dude has not given up a big play. What has he done? This man has been fantastic. This rookie is living up to the expectations the Ravens had for him. And we got to start giving him credit. Move on from what happened against the Dolphins. This rookie and Kyle Hamilton is doing a fantastic job. He is having a really good rookie season. And I like what I'm seeing from Hamilton. Patrick Queen continues to show that improvement. He had a great game. So you just got all your defensive players coming out here playing well. Calais Campbell, he was active. He was batting passes down. In fact, one of the passes, I believe he tipped into the air. That's what caused the interception. You know, he tipped one of Andy Dalton's pass. Justin Houston was right there to catch it. So this dude, Calais Campbell, still playing at a high level. They were just making stops. Making stops in the run game, making stops in the pass game. They did everything well. Everybody was playing well. There was only one mistake, and that was on the touchdown. Okay, Marcus Peters, it looked like he was trying to get trying to strip the ball out of the receiver's hands, and I don't know if he thought he pushed him out of bounds, but it seemed like his foot already crossed the line, so it looked like he was out of bounds. Well, it appeared like that initially, but it wasn't the case. But he thought he pushed him out. But yeah, he thought he pushed him out, and the guy just kept running. Chuck Clark had an opportunity to go make the tackle, but he just stopped playing. So that resulted in a touchdown, and there was a lot of talking confusion about that on the sideline. Marcus Peters talked with John Harbaugh trying to explain himself. It was unfortunate, but I'm putting that more on Chuck Clark than Marcus Peters. He was there trying to make the tackle, and it seemed like he thought he already pushed him out of bounds. But the guy just kept going, and Chuck Clark didn't even try to stop him. So I'm putting the blame more on Chuck Clark than Marcus Peters there. But past that, that was really the only mistake. The defense was locking up. They were playing bend but don't break defense. They were getting to Andy Dalton, putting the pressure on him. You got to love what you're seeing from the defense. Absolute dominant performance here. They continue to improve. And, you know, this is a game where you had Tyus Bowser come back, and he made his presence known immediately. Early on in this game, he made his presence known. So we're glad to have him here. Madubuike is also playing well. You got to like what you're seeing. You got to like what you're seeing from the defense. And it's only going to get better. Ojabo's going to join them soon. So you get Ojabo out there. That's another guy that can get to the quarterback. So you're going to have this year, your pass rushing unit, which is already producing, already getting sacks, already looking nice. It's going to be even better coming out the bye week because everyone's going to get healthy. Roquan Smith's going to get even more time to gel with the defense. And then you're going to have Ojabo come back. It's fantastic. You got to love what you're seeing. Beautiful performance by the defense. Now we switch over to the offense. There's not really a lot to talk about the offense. There's not a lot of negatives. Offensively, they did what they needed to do. You need to run the ball. They ran the ball all day. They ran the ball all day. They ran for nearly 200 yards. Lamar Jackson himself, he had 11 carries, 82 yards. Justice Hill had 4 carries, 11 yards. But Kenyon Drake was leading the charge here. He had 93 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Kenyon Drake has been fantastic. I mean, can we sit back and talk about this? I said this in the stream. Kenyon Drake has been the player Lamar has been missing since Mark Ingram. He's been missing. That is the exact back, the person that can just be out there in the backfield, that he can just check the ball down to. Excuse me. That he can just check the ball down to. That was the guy. Mark Ingram was that guy in 2019. Lamar used to check the ball down to him, and Mark Ingram would just go the distance and make all these other plays. He didn't have that over the last 2 years. Kenyon Drake has come in, and he's taken that spot. The man said early on he didn't have his legs with him. He wasn't really fully adjusted to what we were doing. It was going to take time for him to get going. Once this man got it going, he has not slowed down. We now have another guy that can be effective. So once you get back Gus Edwards next week, who's going to play, he's going to be out there against the Panthers on the 20th because we're obviously on a bye week, so he's going to have this time to rest. He'll be out there against the Panthers. J.K. Dobbins will return at some point, and I didn't even mention this. Marcus Williams, we did get an update today. He may return at some point in December. So once you get him back, that defense is going to be great. Once you get J.K. Dobbins back to add with Gus Edwards and Kenyon Drake, you're going to have a dominant trio of a rushing game. And now you got to deal with that. You got to deal with J.K. Dobbins. You got to deal with Gus Edwards. You got to deal with Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake has been perfect from Lamar in the past game because he's been that one guy he can just consistently check the ball down to, and Lamar feels comfortable checking the ball down to him. Sometimes you just motion him on third down, just motion him to go left, just check it down to him quickly, and Kenyon Drake picks up the first down. Kenyon Drake has been a great addition. He's been a great addition. And I just love what I'm seeing, man. Once again, over 150 yards rushing. I think this is our 8th straight game of over 150 yards rushing, which is kind of it's like the second most all time. We're we're very close to where the 85 Bears were. I think the 85 Bears has 9 straight games. So I believe the Ravens are going to tie that record on the 20th because they're going up against the Carolina Panthers. And if the Bengals can run the football on them, we damn sure can. But we'll see what happens there. Anyway, I love what I saw from the running game. As for the passing game, there was some good, there was some bad. Talking about Lamar Jackson himself, Lamar Jackson's a baller. He's going to have games where he's going to play great. He's going to have games where he plays poor. He's going to have games where he plays kind of in the middle, but he still makes enough plays to help your team win. He had a performance like that yesterday. He played well. He played really well. I like what I saw from him. But, it wasn't the best Lamar performance. We've seen better from him. However, he played well and did what he needed to do to help the team win. He did it with both his arm and his legs. And that's the best of Lamar Jackson, man. He's a true threat quarterback. He's a true dual threat quarterback. I don't even know what to say about Lamar sometimes. The way he's just able to make these plays happen is something special. This man almost had the play of the season. He takes the snap, pressure's coming, he dodges that. He actually ends up fumbling the ball, which I believe some people said the fumble happened because Morgan Moses was in the way, and he actually ended up causing the fumble to happen. So the fumble happens. Lamar picks it up. He's rolling to his right. He's looking downfield, sees Deshaun Jackson, and he throws it like 50 yards. Perfect ball to Deshaun Jackson. The defender's right there. He just bats the ball down. It's incomplete. Let me tell you something. If that play would have been a completion, that would have been the play of the year. That would have been the play of the year. That was an insane play. That would have been the play of the year. It would have been crazy to think about. Well, maybe it's the play of the year, or you could say it's the second play of the year, or it'll be top 5, because I don't know if anything's beating P.J. Walker's Hail Mary touchdown to DJ Moore. That might have to be the play of the season. That's crazy how that happened. Yeah, they lost the game, but still, that was crazy. But yeah, Lamar almost had that huge highlight play to Deshaun Jackson. Speaking of Deshaun Jackson, he did play. He had 1 catch for 16 yards. But honestly, if he would have connected on that huge bomb, because if the defender wasn't there, he was open. He was contested, but he was open to be able to make the catch. If the defender didn't make that stop there, he would have had much more yards. And then he had another catch that was negated because Morgan Moses got called for a penalty. They said, what was it? Ineligible receiver downfield on Morgan Moses. So that took away. That was a 23-yard game, by the way. But from what I saw there, Lamar seems to have some level of chemistry with Deshaun Jackson, and it seems like they're connecting early. Even though one was taken away from a penalty and the other was an incompletion because it was a great defensive play, Lamar seems to be targeting Deshaun Jackson, and Deshaun Jackson's getting open, and Lamar is getting the ball to him, and he's hitting them. So it seems like there's a chemistry there. It seems like it can be something that works out, but we have to see, because I don't know about the health of Deshaun Jackson. Obviously, in this game, he ended up suffering a hamstring injury, so they chose to keep him out for the second half. But, from some of the things we saw, it looks like it could be something very interesting. Isaiah Likely only had 1 catch in this game, but the 1 catch he had was all he needed. 24-yard touchdown. It was on a beautiful play. I feel like it's something I want to talk about a little bit more, but Greg Roman, the dude knows how to make creative plays in the run game. And there are times where he can incorporate that creative run play in the pass play. The play they got on the touchdown was the exact same play they ran against the Bucs to pick up a first down. I don't know why Greg Roman doesn't run that more often, because it's going to confuse defenses. They don't know what he's going to run or pass. When Lamar took the snap, he started carrying the ball like he was going to take off, and he's rolling to his right and carrying the ball. That got the defense thinking he's going to run. He all of a sudden takes that, starts going in the passing position, and just lofts it perfectly to Isaiah Likely for the touchdown. He did that last Thursday night against the Bucs, and it worked out. He did it again yesterday, and it worked out. We need to do more of those plays, because I hate how they just like to roll him out to the left or roll him out to his right in the pass game, and it just never works out. Do more of that. So I did like some of the play calling I saw from Greg Roman. There was some creative moments. And for once, you got to sit back and say they did try to spread the ball out. Lamar even said it in the press conference. The goal was to spread the ball around to all his receivers. I think like 12 of his, he had 12 receptions. Oh, not 12 receptions, Jesus. No one had 12 receptions. He had 12 completions here. And like 8 of those, he had 12 completions that was spread between 8 receivers. So he got everybody involved. Just taking a look at it. Wow. No, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, not 10. Okay, he got everybody involved. I said 8. Isaiah Likely, 1 catch, 24 yards. Prochet, 2 catches, 22 yards. Oliver, 1 catch for 19 yards. Could have had another one, but Lamar missed them. We'll talk about that. Deshaun Jackson, 1 catch, 16 yards. Kenny Drake, 2 catches, 16 yards. Demarcus Robinson, 1 catch, 12 yards. Justice Hill, 1 catch, 8 yards. Davis, 1 catch, 7 yards. Duvernay, 1 for 5. Patrick Ricard, 1 for 4. Wow, this is crazy. He got everybody involved. He really did spread the ball. I hope they keep that philosophy when Mark Andrews comes back, because spreading the ball is going to be how the Ravens are going to win in the pass game. So I was saying 8 different people. No, he got 10 people involved. He was spreading the ball to everybody on the field. That's what you want to see from Lamar Jackson. So everyone was eating. Now, he did miss a couple throws. It was really like 3 or 4. He missed DeMarcus Robinson in the end zone. In that play, there was a lane for Lamar to just drive the football, and it would have put DeMarcus Robinson in the position where he would just have to reach up and just catch it. But Lamar chose to loft it, and he just barely missed him at the back of the end zone. Now that's a bad miss by Lamar, but it seemed like that was a situation where part of it has to be trusting what he sees on the field and also trusting the receiver to make that play. I am certain that if that was Mark Andrews, Lamar's driving that football, because I've seen him do it time and time and time again. He would have driven that football, just straight up driven it with force. Mark Andrews would have just come up, made that catch. That's a touchdown right there. So Lamar obviously knew he missed that one. It was unfortunate. He also missed DeMarcus Robinson again. This was a situation where he was pressured. So he was pressured. He was rolling to his right. He was just trying to dodge pressure. He found a way to get open again. He saw DeMarcus Robinson, and he just threw it behind him. So that was a bad miss. That also could have been a touchdown. He also missed Josh Oliver, threw it behind him as well, but pressure was coming. Speaking of that, you got to give credit to the Saints defense. They actually did put some pressure on Lamar, because he had 2 passes that came out that were ugly. And both those passes that came out that were ugly were due to him being hit while he threw the football. So, yeah, they really put some pressure on Lamar. They came out there and tried their very best to try and limit the pass game, but Lamar still found ways to be effective. But yeah, I did like some of the things I saw with the pass game. I didn't like the misses by Lamar, but every quarterback misses throws. It's part of it. You know, not every quarterback's going to be out there not every quarterback's going to go out there and be perfect every single week. Quarterbacks can have perfect games. Lamar's had perfect games. But you're going to miss some throws. It just happens. You're going to miss some throws. Every quarterback misses throws. It's going to happen. Unfortunately, because he's Lamar Jackson, one of the most controversial guys, especially right now with the contract situation, they're obviously going to be looking to talk about him. Every throw is going to be overanalyzed. Every play he makes is going to be overanalyzed. If he turns the ball over, it's going to be overanalyzed. That's just how it is right now with Lamar Jackson. But he doesn't care. He just goes out there and plays football. That's just what he does. But yeah, I did like some of the things I saw from the Ravens. The first half, they had 2 beautiful drives that killed like 7 minutes off the clock each. That's what you want to see. First half was nice. They were finishing those drives. Second half, they didn't really finish those drives. They had 2 drives they really could have finished, but, you know, penalties kind of killed it, and it was just unfortunate there. But they still managed to get 13 points, so they still continued to score. Looking at the scoring here for the Ravens, 7 points in the first quarter, 7 points in the second quarter, 3 points in the third quarter, 10 points in the fourth quarter. All around, they played well offensively and finished. I need to see more of that from Baltimore. Show up and put points on the board every single quarter and be effective every single quarter. They were able to do that in this game. So the mistakes that were there, we can overlook it and you know, address it and say that definitely needs to be cleaned up. Lamar himself knows he missed a couple throws out there that he's not going to look to miss moving forward. But, you know, this is a win where they were able to execute and actually finish. And I think we have to look at that more than the misses that normally won't be misses. And Lamar will definitely be sure to clean that up. But they have the bye week to work on that and get every issue they have right now addressed and fix that. Speaking of that, the team is still dealing with the same issues when it comes to getting set. How many delayed game penalties are we going to have? It takes forever for them to get the play call. It takes forever for them to get set. And by the time they're ready to stop the ball, boom, delay a game penalty. Because of that, Lamar literally exploded. I'm telling you, Lamar is sick and tired of some of the mistakes that are... Wow, I am losing my voice today. Lamar is sick and tired of some of the mistakes that are being made here on the offense. He's tired of the false start penalties. He's tired of the delay of game penalties. He's tired of just errant mistakes. The holding calls, he hates when that happens. And so because of that, boom, he exploded with anger. And then him and Ronnie Stanley go back and forth about it. And, honestly, they'll just play football. They're competitors. It's going to happen. I was perfectly fine with Lamar and Stanley going back and forth with it. Your teammates, your competitors, you bring that energy. You have something to say. Don't be afraid to speak it out. That's what we always say in Baltimore. It's a brotherhood. Lamar is going to say what he's going to say. Ronnie Stanley's going to be right back at him. He's going to be right there to go right back at him. And at the end of the day, how did it finish? Lamar pat every one of his offensive linemen in the helmet, and they kept trucking. And on the sideline, they were cooling. They were cooling out, talking about some of the things that could have been improved there, and they were really just chilling. They were just cooling out. They were cooling out on the sideline. They were just like this, really just chilling out, not really worried about it. Media may try to make it an issue, but there was really no issue. It was a thing that happened there. They're competitors, and they were just chilling out. They were just chilling out on the sideline talking about it. Lamar and Stanley were still talking. And while they were talking, they were just having fun. They're chilling out. There was no problem. No issue between them. And, that's just how it was. Your competitors, things like that are going to happen. And you just have to accept it at times and understand that it's not really a thing where they're going at each other and trying to fight each other. It's just a thing that they're both competitors and they hate mistakes. And, of course, when you have a quarterback like Lamar who definitely hates mistakes, that's going to get on them. And, you just go back and forth with it. You settle it. You move on, pat each other on the helmets, move on to the next play, get over it. You're still all good. So, there was a couple mistakes in the game, but other than that, the Ravens did manage to finish. So I did like what I saw. But, wow, I talked for 20 minutes here. I was not expecting to talk this long about a game where we dominated, but I wanted to give it every aspect about it. But, Ravens were able to get the win. Saints couldn't really move the football on the ground. In the air, Andy Dalton didn't do much. 19 to 29, 210 passing yards, a touchdown and a pick. The only reason he has 210 yards was because of that 41 or 43 yard touchdown. Yeah, it was a 41 yard. It was 41 yard touchdown that I don't even know how that happens, but it is what it is. But you take that away. Andy Dalton didn't really have a great game at all, and they made him look bad, but that one play did happen, and it is what it is at the end of the day. But, Ravens are 6-3. They officially enter their bye week, and we can all go on a mini vacation here. They won't go on a mini vacation, obviously. They're just taking a week off to get healthy. But we, the Ravens flock, can go on a mini vacation, and we can, kind of just chill out and look forward to next week when the Bengals and the Steelers go at it. If Cincinnati loses that game, I'm declaring the Ravens the AFC North champions. I'm kidding, but they go 0-4 in the division. They actually cannot win the division at that point. You go 0-4 in the division, it's over. It's over for Cincinnati if they go 0-4. So we'll all be looking forward to that. Funny enough, that game got flexed off of Sunday Night Football. Thank God no one wanted to watch that. The Chiefs and Chargers are going to be on Sunday Night Football, so I'm all cool with it. It's all good for me. But, we'll see what happens anyway. Ravens are 6-3. They have a lot of things to address. I'll be sure to talk about it this week. And, we'll just go from there. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get out of here. And with that being said, that is all I've got. And I'm out of here, man. Peace.